I am joined today by founder and CEO of Felicity Pharma, Olivia Mannix. How are you today, Olivia?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much for having me, Nicole.
Yeah, it's great to see you again. We had a fantastic time in Wonderland together, finally able to meet face to face. So here we are with our professional faces on, unlike all the lovely after parties we were at.
Exactly.
Tell me a little bit about what Felicity Pharma is. For those who might be unfamiliar, I think what you're doing and your focus is just fantastic and so needed. So I'd love for people to know more about you if they don't already.
Thank you. Yeah. So Felicity Pharma is a female-focused therapeutics company with a focus in psychedelics, and our main area is mood disorders in women. So we're looking at different indications such as PMS, PMDD, mood disorders. We're also looking into chronic pain. The women's healthcare industry in general has had little to no innovation in the past 30 years. Yes, there's been innovation with birth control and more hormone-related products, but really when it comes to women's needs, there's been no innovation. So this is a huge opportunity to help women and to also bring psychedelics, which is this wonderful medicine, into the space.
We talk a lot about mental health when it comes to psychedelics, but you mentioned chronic pain as well. Why is it important that we also focus on psychedelics for the use of alleviating physical pain?
Sure. So literature suggests that psychedelics create neuroplasticity in your brain. And chronic pain is a type of nociplastic pain, which basically is more of a pain that's in your head and mental. So we're able to use psychedelics to rewire neurons so that people have different sensations when it comes to their pain, and it actually can reteach them to change the mechanisms of their pain. So it's really fascinating to see how these work together.
And what kind of conversations are you having with people around PMS? This is something that I mean, if you've ever dealt with a woman going through PMS, then even peripherally, you have a sense of really how astounding it is that we keep such a straight face and
Right.
operate business as usual. So how are you approaching conversations with people to help them understand the gravity of why PMS really does need to be addressed?
Sure. So actually PMS affects 80% of women, which I really didn't know until I got into this space, which is a massive number. It is something that is just so, underrepresented, not talked about. And it's something that, should be a leading talking point. We're finding that psychedelics can help with these mood-related disorders, and specifically with women, because your hormones regulate your moods. Women have their menses. So, there's a 30-day cycle. There are different moods and hormones that occur. So really looking at how psychedelics can help with, let's say, PMS or PMDD, which is premenstrual dysphoric disorder, is really fascinating. Because again, it goes back to that notion of rewiring your molecules in your brain and then getting away from SSRIs that have been used to treat this. SSRIs are overly prescribed, and they also aren't very functional. They don't work as well as they can for the intended indications. So we're trying to disrupt the SSRI market, which is really all there's been in the space. So Prozac, for instance, that was invented in 1988, is really the only product on the market. And then there's derivatives of that are on the market with different names. So it's really fascinating to see what types of changes we'll be making.
Yeah, and with 80%, as you said, of women suffering from PMS and it being largely unaddressed, that is a huge market share, really,
right.
Especially if women start to feel like there's hope, where they're not just coping with what it means to be a woman and have a cycle. You've touched on it a little bit, but I wanted to know if there's anything else you wanted to add as to how women are uniquely positioned to benefit from psychedelics, because it sounds like they are.
Absolutely. So again, women have just been underrepresented for a really long time. It's crazy to think that they are still, in some ways, in a lot of different cultures, viewed as a minority, which is crazy because now we're seeing the rise of women, as CEOs and business. And I think it's an opportunity there to help with just bringing women together to not only talk about the benefits of psychedelics, but also really penetrate and change the SSRI market, the opiate markets. And then also our company, Felicity, is really looking at conducting clinical trials with women. And women have not been used in many clinical trials because of their hormonal changes, because it's really hard with all the checks and balances, the data points and whatnot, to be able to really work with women. So our company is actually making a stance and working with women to figure out solutions for them.
Which just makes sense. Yeah. It just makes sense. It should be that way.
Absolutely.
Let us know where you're at with investments, because you're not publicly traded.
Right now. Absolutely. So right now we're ready to go to clinic. We just signed on 2 separate key investigators from large U.S. academic institutions. And we're looking to close our round here by the end of January, which is $2 million with a $5 million valuation. And we're welcoming meetings with investors that are looking to get in, early on with this really, fascinating endeavor.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Olivia. I'm so happy that people are going to know about you if they don't already and dive a little deeper. Of course, we'll put up all of your social accounts and the website for people to get in touch if they want to. And let's have you back soon to do a check-in about the money that you're raising, rightfully so.
Thank you so much, Nicole.
Okay, take care.